Welcome into the Commanders Report live show. I am your host, Jack Sperry, and today we got a bunch of great Commanders content coming your way. First up on the show, we got the latest news from training camp. I got two players that are absolutely taking over Commanders training camp right now. Two guys that Commanders fans are really hoping have breakout seasons here in 2024. So a bunch of good news out of Ashburn today. Then also, we're going to get into some breakout candidates for the Washington Commanders. I got 6 potential breakout candidates. I'm going to tell you whether to buy, sell, or hold stock into heading into the 2024 campaign. And then we got the live Commanders Report mailbag. If you want to get a question on today's mailbag, use hashtag Commanders or Super Chat to get on the show. So, for example, you go down there in the live chat, you put hashtag Commanders, and then you say something like, will Jaden Daniels win Rookie of the Year? All right, so do that right now, hashtag Commanders, put your question in there so that we can get your question on the show. Now, while you're getting your question down there in the live chat right now, I'm going to tell you about our sponsor today on today's live show, which is Game Time, which is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for the sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets to whatever event you choose. And not only could you get tickets to, say, a Commanders preseason game, a regular season game, but you could also get tickets for like the Washington Nationals or whatever the case may be, Washington Capitals. And then also, it's more than just sports. It's music, it's concerts, it's theater, it's everything that you can get tickets for. You can find it on the Game Time app. And what I love about the Game Time app, guys, is that you get the lowest price guarantee on any ticket to any event, all-in pricing, so you don't get slapped with crazy fees at checkout like other ticketing apps use, and then flash deals so I can get even cheaper tickets the closer that you wait to the event. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS. That's one word, all caps, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, and again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. With that, we'll bring in our producer for today, Mr. Jeffrey Cooperstein. Coop's a Cowboys fan, so you can put F Coop in the chat if you want. But he's helping us out today. He's wearing his Texas Longhorns shirt today. So Coop, how you feeling today? Are you ready to talk some Commanders football?
I was born ready, Sperry.
All right, he was born ready. By the way, Coop, who's the only head coach in NFL history to win multiple Super Bowls with multiple quarterbacks?
Who cares?
That's Mr. Joe Gibbs of the Washington then Redskins, right? So
Cowboys,
not the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys have 5-3 though, so.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, you guys got a good run, all right? And then in the 90s, you guys dominated the 90s, but since the turn of the century, booty. I think even you would agree. I mean, they've been good. They just haven't been good in the postseason. Yeah, they haven't been good enough. Absolutely right. So our donation menu today, guys, any super chat is going to get a shout out on the show. Okay, plain and simply. $5. It's actually not Bean Boozled. We're going to do F the Cowboys chant. So
okay, I'll fix that.
So F Cully. Cully was the one that made these graphics here. So we're actually not doing Bean Boozled jelly beans today. We ran out of them actually. So $5 super chats.
We ran out of them?
We ran out of them. So we have to get some more Bean Boozles. But for $5 super chats and Venmos or whatever, we are going to be doing F the Cowboy chants. $10, Coop. You got a little bit of a drink ski over there. You want to show that to the people? You got some
Patron.
Got some Patron.
I'm ready to ride.
So $10 Patron shots today. And then $20. It's not name on Cowboys has. So I think Coley just completely ignored.
Disregarded this.
Coley just completely disregarded our list for here. $20, you get into Commanders Report Hog Mafia, which is our brand new club that we're starting here on the Commanders Report. It's for all the real ones, the people that show up every single time, the people that support the show. If you guys want a special status with us here at the Commanders Report, $20. There we go. Coop got it fixed real quickly there. $20 Super Chat or Venmo gets you into Commanders Report Hog Mafia. And the perks of being in Hog Mafia, you get this awesome-looking Commanders Report Hog Mafia sticker on your Super Chats and your donations for life. It's a lifetime membership, so if you spend $20, you can't be taken away. And then also, you get a shout-out on every single Commanders Report live show from here until the end of time, okay? So I want to give a shout-out to the 3 opening members here, the inaugural members of Commanders Report Hog Mafia, IQ Barbecue, Marco Gorman, and Omar's Burner. So big shout-out to these 3 people. If you want to join if you guys want to join Hog Mafia today, the price is $20. I see Buddy Bear down there. Buddy Bear, I know you're a big club person, so if you want to join,
he's in like 10 clubs or something.
I think he's a part of every club at Chat Sports
that we have,
except Hog Mafia. So Buddy Bear, if you want to join Hog Mafia today, you can send in a $20 super chat or Venmo. We do prefer Venmos and Cash Apps and PayPals as opposed to super chats, though, guys, because YouTube takes 30% of every single dollar that you donate. So if you want more of your money to go towards making more Commanders content, I would recommend Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. These are the ways that you can check me out. My preferred one is Venmo. I am at Jack-Sperry there, but if you'd rather use Cash App or PayPal, that's perfectly fine as well. Okay, guys, so we're about to get into our first segment here. If you guys want to send in a super chat, if you want to join Hog Mafia, go down there right now and type me in the chat.
And don't forget to use #Commanders and so you can get your question in on the mailbag.
Absolutely. #Commanders down there in the chat to get on the show today. I see Peter N is here. I see Jasmine Gray is here. I see my man Eugene is here. I see Cassie Voth, my girlfriend, is here.
She was napping.
She was napping, and she just woke up, I guess. We got Buddy Bear here. What's up, Buddy Bear? We got a good crew of Commanders fans here in the building. So type those me's. If you have clicked that thumbs up icon, we're only at 10 likes right now.
What the hell?
What is this, man? Let's get that up to at least 15. We got 23 people watching. I want to get that up to at least 15. And there it is, folks.
He's in.
Guess who just joined? Commanders Report Mafia, Buddy Bear.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's get that sticker on there, Coop.
We're about to.
Get that sticker on there.
Don't you worry.
He's now a part of Hog Mafia, man. Let's go.
Don't you worry, Buddy Bear.
He says, put me in Hog Mafia. I'm a Raiders fan, but I hang out on most of the live shows. I'm not at home. I'm on my phone at work. So the Lord is missing. Oh, gotcha. So Lord Buddy Bear is the newest member of Commanders Report Hog Mafia. Everybody spam Buddy Bear in the chat, man.
You know what the wild thing is?
What's that?
I think I've seen Buddy Bear on basically every single live that I've produced.
Yeah, I mean I would agree with that. Buddy Bear is everywhere, man. He's on our main cast when we go on the NFL draft. He's on every single live show that I do. Bunch of great stuff there from Buddy Bear, our newest member of Commanders Report Hog Mafia. Do we get the sticker here, Coop?
Guess what, Buddy Bear? Welcome to the club, baby.
There it is right there. Welcome to the club, Mr. Buddy Bear, our fourth member of Commanders Report Hog Mafia. And if you want to join Hog Mafia and you want that sticker next to your name every time you super chat, you can send in a $20 super chat, Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support.
I love that he has multiple accounts. He's on his phone, so he's not Lord Buddy Bear.
All right, man. Let's get into our first segment here. It was day 2 of Commanders training camp practice today. We got some couple players that are just simply taking over in Ashburn right now, Coop, that I can't wait to talk about.
I wonder who one of them is.
But yeah, exactly. So make sure you click that thumbs up icon. 13 likes so far. I said we can't start the show until we get to 15 likes. We got 31 people watching. Make sure you click that thumbs up icon. If we get 2 more likes, we need just 2 more likes and we'll get the show going here.
Like the video.
Big shout out to Buddy Bear for that $20 super chat to get us going and joining Hog Mafia. There we go. We got 14. We need 1 more. We got 31 people watching, man. It takes half a second to click that thumbs up icon. There we go. We got it.
Let's go.
Let's get it going right now with the latest news and rumors from Commanders training camp. Welcome into the Commanders Report. I am your host, Jack Sperry, and today we have yet another report from Commanders training camp. And today I'm going to be breaking down 2 players from day 2 of Commanders training camp practice that are really showing out. All right, and I think that the first 2 days of practice, there's been a lot of energy. There's been a lot of really good things put on the practice field in Ashburn that I can't wait to talk about today. We did put out a video yesterday talking about the day 1 takeaways that I have. So if you want to check out my day 1 takeaways from the first practice of Commanders training camp, after today's video, you can check out that one. But there were 2 major standouts at practice, not only today, but also in day 1, 2 players that Commanders fans are really hoping truly have breakout seasons this year. And if the Commanders want to go on a potential playoff run here and make the playoffs, I think these 2 players definitely need to have good seasons, and they've gotten off to a good start in camp. So let's start with the first standout here, which is none other than number 2 overall pick and new starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders, or at least we assume he's going to be the starting quarterback this year, Jayden Daniels, who has just been lighting it up. I mean, it was rave reviews for this kid at OTAs and rookie minicamp and mandatory minicamp. So it's not really a surprise that Jayden Daniels is playing so well to start training camp, but it's definitely a good thing to see here where he's taking a good spring and he's put it into a good summer, and now he's putting it into training camp here, which is excellent to see. We got some reports from Ashburn today, starting with Linnell Willingham, talking about Jayden Daniels' ability to recognize pressure. He says, nice job by Jayden Daniels calling out a defensive back that honestly didn't really show blitz, but he came. Daniels slid the protection, but it was incomplete. So listen, man, this shows that Jayden Daniels can really process the defense pre-snap, and he can see, and he can pick up tells and all these different things of when guys are coming in terms of a blitz. He knows how to make those proper adjustments, slide the line to adjust for these rushers that are coming at him. That is something that NFL quarterbacks absolutely have to do. And according to this one here, or this play, he was able to do that. Then talking about another thing here, for here from Linnell, says another thing that has stood out with Jayden Daniels is his use of the hard count. Second straight day where we've seen him draw the defense offsides during situational work. We've seen some of the best quarterbacks in NFL history, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, others that have used a hard count in the past. It's been a real tool in their tool belt. It looks like Jayden Daniels is trying to develop that in his game, which could just be another way that he can be dangerous for an opposing defense in the league. On the other hand, the defense does need to play better and stay more disciplined. Another one from Linnell from this morning here says, nice end to the situational work for Jayden Daniels. You saw him get from progression 1 all the way to progression number 4, which was the running back, Jeremy McNichols, in the end zone for a touchdown. This kid is really going to be freaking good, it seems like. And this is another really, really encouraging thing that we've seen from Jayden Daniels, is that he's getting through his progressions and quickly and at an NFL level. This is why I believe he will start week 1, because he does have an NFL level processor, and that showed up on his college film at LSU, which is why I had him ranked as the number 2 overall quarterback in this year's class, only behind Caleb Williams. All right, so that's definitely good as well. Then we get Zach Selby saying, really nice play to open 11 on 11 from Daniels. B-Rob takes a pass from the quarterback to the house. So, I mean, this is the second touchdown pass that Brian Robinson as a receiver has caught from Jayden Daniels so far in camp in the first 2 days. So it seems like B-Rob could be used in the passing game as well. Another one from Selby here says, hell of a play from Daniels on a touchdown pass to Mitchell Tinsley. Made the leaping grab over the defender in the corner of the end zone. So another great play here. And as you can see with all these reports coming out, Jayden Daniels is really doing a great job in camp. And then at the end of the day here, they did a 2-minute drill with Jayden Daniels, and he led them down on a 7-play touchdown drive and scored a touchdown with 9 seconds left. That shows the poise that this kid is bringing to the table, and it's really good to finish your day off with that kind of success in the 2-minute drill. And listen, man, it's just training camp. The pads haven't come on yet, and all the things that we've heard about Jayden Daniels have been great, but the pads haven't come on, so I'm trying to temper my expectations here. He is a rookie. I do expect him to take some rookie lumps throughout his first season in the NFL, but it seems like every time, I'm looking at the practice film, every time I'm looking at Jayden Daniels and what he's doing at practice, it's just looking like an NFL quarterback, and it's looking like a star NFL quarterback at that. So I'm trying not to get too excited, but Jayden Daniels is making it pretty tough at this point. Okay, now let me know down there in the comment section, what is the percent chance that Jayden Daniels wins Offensive Rookie of the Year? He's certainly getting off to a fast start, at least in training camp. But let me know what you guys think. Put it on a scale of 0 to 100 for today's pinned comment. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. And when that happens, take advantage of that time by answering today's pinned question. So my answer here, I'll give him about a 35% shot. I think Caleb Williams has also a really good chance to win, but everything that we have heard out of Jayden Daniels so far is that he has been phenomenal. And, of course, there's other good receivers. Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be in that mix. Malik Neighbors is going to be in that mix. Roma Dunze might be in that mix for Rookie of the Year. So there's lots of great candidates for that award this year. But Jayden Daniels should be close to the top. And, honestly, in terms of the odds, I think he should probably have the second best odds behind probably only Caleb Williams at this point. And now coming up here on the Commanders Report, the other player that has really been showing out first 2 days of practice has been Emanuel Forbes, the first-round pick for this team 2 seasons ago. Had a really rough rookie season, but he's getting off to a good start in camp this year. I'll let you know what he's doing here in just a second. But before we get into that, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Game Time, which is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for the sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat right on the app, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets to whatever event you choose. Whether you decide to go to a comedy show, a musical, a baseball game, basketball game, Washington Commander football game, doesn't matter. Game Time has tickets on it, and they have a lowest price guarantee. They got a super easy-to-use interface on their app, which I love using. What I really love about Game Time is that you get the lowest price guarantee. They have all-in pricing, so you don't get slapped with crazy fees at checkout, which is always great. And then also flash deals, so I can get even cheaper tickets the closer I wait to the event. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and then use code CHATSPORTS. That's one word, all caps, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS. That's one word, all caps, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. So Emanuel Forbes is getting off to a fast start at Commanders training camp this year, and he has been impressive to this point, going up against number one receiver here for the Commanders, Terry McLaurin. So it seems obvious that the Commanders view Emanuel as their number one corner this year, and it seems like he's holding his own. This comes from, once again, Linnell Willingham, who says Emanuel Forbes has been battling with Terry all practice, both getting the best of each other. Second-year corner looks much improved, and that's exactly what Commanders fans were hoping to hear out of Emanuel Forbes heading into the year, and him making that big-time leap from year one to year two that we've seen so many corners in this league make would move mountains for this defense, because they are relying on him to be their number one corner. And if he does not live up to that standard, this secondary might be in a lot of trouble. And of course, last year, he had a really tough time, man. You look at the Pro Football Focus grades, not that PFF grades are gospel or anything like that, but it's a good tool to look at here, especially when it comes to cornerback and coverage and all that stuff. The overall was 112th out of 127 corners in football last year. That's abysmal. The coverage was at 57.6, which was 92. And then the run defense was literally the worst in football last year. I'm not even sure if I've seen a Pro Football Focus grade as low as 28.4. My big concern for him coming out was that he was too thin to survive against the run, and that was absolutely the case last year. And, he still appears thin to me, all right? He claims that he bulked up a little bit this offseason, but you can see in the picture right here, man, he still looks extremely skinny for an NFL corner. I still do think he's going to struggle against the run, but I'm hoping that the coverage comes through. I hope that his aggressiveness comes through. I hope that he's able to really be a turnover machine for this defense this year, even if he is a little bit of a liability against the run. And that is kind of what I feel about Emanuel Forbes at this point. I think that his skill set fits really well in this scheme helmed by new head coach Dan Quinn and new defensive coordinator Joe Witt Jr. They asked their corners to be extremely aggressive and go get interceptions. As you guys know, Emanuel Forbes did that better than anybody else in college football his final year at Mississippi State. So his aggressiveness, his length, his ball skills, all that stuff is going to come into play extremely well in this scheme with Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr., so I can't wait to see that. But because he is still so skinny, he's probably still a liability against screens and against the run, and that's probably where he's going to be at this year. Now, let me know, over or under? Let me know down there in the comments section. Will Emanuel Forbes get over or under 4.5 interceptions this season? I'm going to take the over here, man. I think Forbes is a super aggressive corner. We saw guys like Deron Bland get extremely high interception numbers in the Dallas Cowboys aggressive scheme. I think Forbes is exactly the type of guy that can capitalize on the aggressiveness of this defense. I'm going to take the over on 4.5 interceptions. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. All right, guys, that'll be it for today's news and rumors edition of the Commanders Report. Make sure you click that subscribe button because we're going to have more updates from Commanders training camp all throughout the 2024 preseason. First cut out of the way here, Mr. Coop. I want to say hello to the people that have just joined us. Shout out to Richard Baker. Shout out to Jeff. Shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to IQ Barbecue. What's up, IQ? Good to see you, my friend. What's good to Eugene, Buddy Bear. Got a bunch of great people in the chat, and don't forget to get your questions on the show, guys. We got 36 people watching right now. Use hashtag Commanders or Super Chat to get your question on the Q&A. All right, so for example, when you go down there in the live chat, if you got a question, you want to get on the show, use hashtag Commanders and then put a question at the end of it like, is Dan Quinn a top 10 NFL head coach this year?
Eugene asked a good question.
Did he use hashtag Commanders?
He did.
There we go, Eugene. Good stuff there. Buddy Bear, Richard, Jasmine, Jeff, get your questions in, man. I want to answer some questions here. So if you got anything that you want to know from Commanders training camp, if you have anything that you want to ask about Brandon Ayuk or, the Dallas Cowboys and CeeDee Lamb situation or whatever the case may be, I'm here to answer questions, man. So
Did you see any highlights from Jerry Jones' press conference?
I didn't. Yeah, I know he kind of looked like Joe Biden.
He looked a lot like Mr. Joe Biden today. It was not good.
Even down to like the aviators, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
This might be his last season.
With us?
Yes.
Maybe.
This might be his last season with us.
I mean, I'm not wishing that on anyone.
Me neither. I'm not. If he dies though, would it like the team go to Stephen Jones? Is he like the next in line?
Him or Charlotte? Yeah. His
Okay.
daughter.
Interesting.
Steven is just as bad. So.
Yes,
they're kind of screwed.
Yes, he is. According to Steven, CeeDee Lamb wants the largest wide receiver contract in the history of the game, even more than Justin Jefferson's record-setting $35 million per year.
We'll see how true that is.
I mean, other reports are saying that he just wants 32. He just wants to make as much as A.J. Brown.
Exactly.
But I don't know, man. It's not a good situation for the Cowboys. That's all I'm going to say,
Not good at all, man.
All right, so we got another segment coming up here. Commanders breakout candidates. I got 6 players that could boom or bust in 2024. I'm going to let you know whether I buy, sell, or hold stock in those players. So don't forget, make sure you guys get your questions down there in the chat. So we have enough questions here for the mailbag. That's coming up here shortly. But for the time being, let's get into this next segment, buy, sell, or hold. Today on the Commanders Report, we have 6 potential Commanders breakout candidates for the 2024 season, and I'm going to tell you whether to buy, sell, or hold stock in those players for this season. But before we get into these players individually, let me ask you guys this question. Are you buying, selling, or holding stock in the Washington Commanders as a whole, as a team? Are you buying stock, holding stock, or selling stock? To give me a B for buy, S for sell, or H for hold. And make sure you guys stick around to the end of today's show because I will give my answer to whether I'm buying, selling, or holding stock on the Commanders this year at the end of the program. Okay, now let's get to our first player here, and this is somebody that a lot of people are talking about. Former first-round pick from 2 seasons ago out of Penn State, Jahan Dotson. Kind of had a disappointing 2023 campaign his sophomore season. Had some drop issues. Obviously, Sam Howell wasn't the best quarterback in the world last year. But, man, I am going to be buying stock in Jahan Dotson this year. I think he's a really good route runner. I'm hoping that, with somebody better than Sam Howell throwing him the football, the drop issues are going to be lesser this year. And I'm definitely excited to see what Jahan Dotson is going to be able to do with a guy like Jaden Daniels throwing him the football, especially with the way Jaden is throwing it or has thrown it during training camp and OTAs to this point. If he continues that success into the season, I think Jahan Dotson's going to reap the benefits there, so I'm going to buy stock in Jahan Dotson. Now, another receiver that could kind of be considered a boomer bust kind of guy this year is Dyami Brown. It's kind of a shit or get off the pot situation for Dyami this year. He hasn't exactly blown up the way that Commanders fans were maybe hoping that he would after he got drafted out of North Carolina. But I think that I'm going to hold on this one because I like Dyami. I like his deep threat ability. And with a guy like Jaden Daniels who throws a beautiful deep ball, very catchable deep ball, I could see a guy like Dyami Brown really start to, be a productive receiver in this league. However, he hasn't shown it yet. So I'm not really ready to buy because I haven't exactly seen the consistent flashes that maybe we've seen from a guy like Jahan Dotson at this point. So I'll hold on Dyami Brown. I'm not really ready to give up on him. But I'm not necessarily ready to buy stock in them just yet. Now, coming up here on the Commanders Report, we got more Commanders breakout candidates to buy, sell, or hold stock into. And remember, I'm going to be giving my answer for the team as a whole at the end of today's show, so you don't want to miss that either. But before we get into the rest of today's program, go ahead and check out our friends at Game Time right now because they have the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets to whatever event you choose. Guys, I'm somebody that likes to get last-minute tickets. I like to, wait kind of last minute. I'll be sitting here at my office here at Chat Sports, and I'm like, you know what? I want to go to a Dallas Mavericks game, or I want to go to a Texas Rangers game, or I want to go to a concert with my girlfriend Cassie. So all I do is I take out my Game Time app. It's the only ticketing app I have on my phone, and for a reason. And it's absolutely fantastic. And what I love about Game Time and their app is they get the lowest price guaranteed, all-in pricing, so you don't get slapped with crazy fees at checkout, and then flash deals as well, which I love, which is perfect for me because I get tickets last minute, and Game Time actually rewards me for that because I get even cheaper tickets the closer I wait to my event. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS. That's one word, all caps, CHATSPORTS. It's right down there in the bottom of your screen right now for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. To defend Quan Martin. Pretty type system. He didn't really look comfortable in the slot, but I'm going to say buy stock in Quan Martin this year because they're moving him to pretty much a full-time safety role. Now, it's going to be a rotation between Derek Forrest, Jeremy Chin, and Quan Martin, but I like that rotation, and this defense is actually going to use 3 safeties on the field quite a bit as well. So I like Quan Martin. I like his game. He's played really, really well in OTAs and training camp to this point. And he had a highlight reel interception during OTAs that went viral. I think he's going to have a really good season as a rotational safety, so I'm definitely buying stock in last year's second-round pick. Okay, now we get to another defensive back that's obviously very high drafted. Last year's first-round pick, Emanuel Forbes, which this team is clearly intending to be their number 1 cornerback this year. So if he fails, this secondary is most likely going to fail at this position. So a lot of pressure on Emanuel Forbes this year, and I'm going to say hold right now. Now, in training camp to this point, he has played really, really well. He's holding his own against the legit number 1 wide receiver in Terry McLaurin in practices right now. That's a very encouraging sign. And in this defense with Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr., where they ask their corners to be super aggressive, go get interceptions, that's perfect for Emanuel Forbes because he is a ball hawk. That's what he was known for at Mississippi State, and he's going to be able to be aggressive with those long arms and win at the catch point. I think it's a really good fit. However, he is still really skinny. He was the lowest graded run defending corner in football last year because he's just not strong enough to hold up against these bigger receivers that block him, and I think that's going to be an issue again this year, but I am holding because I do still believe in Emanuel Forbes, so I'm not really ready to bet on him just yet. Now, another cornerback to discuss here is Benjamin St-Juste, where it's another guy here where it's like, shit or get off the pot here, dude. He's had a lot of opportunities. He has not really made the most out of those opportunities. If we're being honest, he's played a little bit in the slot. He's played a little bit outside. He's got long arms. He's big. He's physical, but he doesn't quite have the speed, which is why I'm going to sell stock on Benjamin St-Juste. I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Davis, the free agent corner that they brought in this year, ends up being the other starting corner for this football team here. Benjamin, I think he's a decent rotational third corner, but that's probably all he is at this point. He just doesn't quite have the long speed, and there's only so much you can do if you don't have the wheels. All right, now still to come, Jamin Davis. Do I think he's going to have a breakout season? My answer may surprise you guys, so make sure you stick around. But first, make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We got breaking news coverage if the Commanders make a move, daily Commanders videos breaking down the latest from Commanders training camp. It's all 100% free. We also have a weekly live show every single Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're getting close to 20,000 subscribers already on our channel, guys, so we really do appreciate all of your support. If you want to join us and join our family today, make sure you click that subscribe button right now. So when it comes to Jamin Davis, the linebacker here, they're using him as almost like a walk-up kind of hybrid linebacker edge rusher this year is kind of what they plan on doing with him. They're also going to blitz a lot with Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu. This is going to be a team that blitzes probably more than any other team in the National Football League, and Jamin's going to be a big part of that. And I'm going to say buy stock in Jamin Davis because I think that he's very comparable to Micah Parsons. Now, Parsons is a different animal, all right? He's bigger, he's stronger than Jamin, but Davis is a similar type of player. He's athletic, he's big, he is extremely strong, he's got a great first step, and he's really good as a blitzer. That's always been his MO as a blitzing linebacker, right? Athletic, can get sideline to sideline. I think that, going into this season, he's going to be used in a lot of different ways. He's going to line up in a lot of different alignments, and he's going to be that chess piece that Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. use on that defense, similar to how they use Micah Parsons, all right? So I think that Jamin is going to have a really good season, and he's probably going to, I think he might get a good second contract here with the Washington Commanders. I think it's going to be that good. Now, we get to the moment of truth here. You guys let me know whether you were buying, selling, or holding stock in the Commanders at the beginning of today's show. But what about me? Am I buying stock in the Commanders being a breakout team this year? Well, the answer to that is I'm holding right now. All right, if you would have asked me maybe a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, I probably would have said sell. Okay, and there is reasons to sell, right? The offensive line still has a lot of question marks, especially at offensive tackle. The cornerback room still has a lot of questions. Emanuel Forbes will be a big part of that, right? So I think that Dan Quinn is going to have to patch up a lot of the deficiencies in this roster in order to make a playoff run. But hey, man, I really believe in Dan Quinn. I think he's an excellent culture builder. I really believe in Jaden Daniels, who I think is a superstar in waiting in this league. I like the talent. Skill player-wise on offense. I like the front seven on the defense. There's lots of things to like about this Washington Commander team, and I do think this team is a team on the rise. Will they make the playoffs this year? I guess we'll see how well the offensive line holds up, how well the secondary holds up, how well Jaden plays this year. So right now I will hold, but the future is definitely bright. Now, if you're ready to raise hail this year, let me know down there in the comments section by typing raise hail in all caps right now in the comments. If you made it to the end of today's show, really do appreciate you. You're a real one. And until next time, guys, raise some hail. All right, one more segment to go. It's our mailbag. So make sure you get the questions in there. I see one from Jasmine. I know Eugene put one in there.
King Hypno as well.
King Hypno. So I think, do we have enough questions to get? I think we're.
Yeah, you guys can still get your questions in while we're asking the mailbag, or while we're doing the mailbag as well. But I do believe we have enough.
In the meantime, here, Buddy Bear put in a $20 super chat. So that means we have two shots.
Let's do it. So
Coop's drinking Patron. I'm drinking the fake tequila that we have here. That my girlfriend Cassie got me. It tastes terrible, man. I hate drinking this. Cassie actually has a video of me drinking it for the first time, and I had to spit it out. It tastes so bad. But cheers, guys. Cheers to you, Buddy Bear. Woo!
Oh, man. Let's go.
All right.
How'd you like that one?
Did you we do two?
Oh, we're doing two each?
We're doing two for we're doing two each.
That's on me.
All right. Cassie says it's embarrassing. The video is embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably the most embarrassing piece of film you can find on me, man. See, the worst thing about mocktail tequila, the worst thing about it is that it still tastes like tequila, and tequila tastes terrible.
And you don't get the effect.
It tastes worse than tequila, was what I've heard, and you don't get the positive things from drinking alcohol, right? So that's our donation menu, guys. If you want to send in a donation, we greatly appreciate it. It's not required by any means, but we do appreciate it. $5 after the Cowboys Chant. $10 we'll take shots for you guys. $20 Commanders Report Hog Mafia. We just added a new member today, Mr. Lord Buddy Bear. So shout out to Buddy Bear for joining Commanders Report Hog Mafia. If you're wondering what you get with Hog Mafia, you get a Super Chat sticker next to your Super Chats for life, and you get a shout out on every single Commanders Report live show. So if you want to join Hog Mafia, the price is $20. We greatly appreciate it. Plus, if you send in a 20, we'll do two more shots for you guys. Okay, let's get into it right now. The mailbag. Thank you for getting your questions in. While we're in the mailbag, you guys can still get your questions in. If you use hashtag Commanders and then get it in there, or you can super chat to skip the line. Really do appreciate your support, guys. So without further ado, let's get into the mailbag right now. Welcome to the Commanders Report Mailbag. I am your host, Jack Sperry, and I love doing these segments every week with you guys because you guys tell me what you want me to talk about. Instead of me guessing what you guys want to hear, You guys ask me directly, and I love having that two-way conversation with you guys. So if you want to get a question on a future Commanders Report mailbag, you have to be there for our live shows every single Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now and turn on your notifications so you guys can get questions on the show in the future. And with that, I'll pause and open it up for questions. First one comes to us from my man Eugene, who says, could linebacker Jordan McGee be a sleeper hit for the Washington Commanders? Saw an article about him recently. I like Jordan McGee, man. He's an extremely smart player. Now, he's undersized. So, will he be able to ever be a 3-down starter? Maybe not. But he's an undersized guy that's really good in coverage. He's really, really smart. And he's a really solid tackler. I think he was one of the better football players in this year's linebacking class out of Temple. He was a team captain there. And I think that he's going to be coming in here. He's worked extremely hard. And I think he could even carve himself out a role as a coverage linebacker on third downs. I really like him. He might be a little undersized, so maybe he can't be an every down guy. But he reminds me a little bit of like a Nakobe Dean, if you remember him coming out of Georgia. He's smaller, but he's excellent. He's smart. Really good football player. So I really like Jordan McGee, man. Let me go on from Anderson Mills. Says, what is the latest surrounding Brandon Ayuk? Is there any chance the Commanders could still get a deal done? It's not impossible. San Francisco GM John Lynch said there's no absolutes to Brandon being on the roster this year, but they did say that they want him and all these different things. And Brandon is at training camp right now in San Francisco. He's not participating in practices because he's holding in. But it's going to be an interesting situation, man. If Brandon straight up tells them, I'm not playing unless I'm on a new deal this year, that's when things get a little bit hairy. I could certainly see Brandon signing a restructured contract where he still remains on the team for one season, but he gets a pay raise. I could see that happening. But they also have issues with Trent Williams right now, who wants more money. So it's definitely an interesting situation there in San Francisco. If he is traded, I would probably put the Commanders near the top of the list of teams that could go get him. You'd probably have to trade Jahan Dotson and probably at least a second-round pick along with him to get him on your team. Plus, you have to pay him $30 million a year. It's a hefty price. But if you're going to pay that much for a receiver, why not spend it on a guy that is literally best friends with your new quarterback in Jaden Daniels, right? So I think that this is something that could maybe happen. But if you ask me, I think Ayuk will be playing for the Niners this year. So is it over? Let me know down there in the comments section. What is the percent chance that Brandon Ayuk is a Commander this year? Put it on a scale of 0 to 100. 0 meaning no chance he's a Commander, to 100 meaning it's happening. Let me know what you guys have to say down there in the comments section for today's pinned comment. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. And when that happens, take advantage of that time by answering today's pinned question. I'm going from King Hypno. What's up, my friend? Says, who will be the team's MVP this year? Not allowed to say Daniels, LOL. It has to be a player, I'm guessing, so I can't say Dan Quinn, because I think Dan Quinn's impact on this team is going to be massive. But if I have to pick one player that's really going to play well this year that's not Daniels, give me Scary Terry McLaurin, man. I think that this is the first time in his entire career where he's going to have a half-decent quarterback throwing him the football. Wouldn't surprise me at all if he is a bona fide top 10 receiver in terms of overall production this year. I think a lot of people, underestimate Terry at this point in his career. So I really do believe in him. I think he's going to have a really good season this year with Jaden throwing him the football. So best player on the Commanders this year, not named Daniels. Give me Scary Terry McLaurin. And the guy that's throwing him that football this year is Jaden Daniels. And if you want to get his officially licensed Commanders jersey today, you can go to chatsports.com/Daniels to pick up a brand new Jaden Daniels Commanders jersey at a great price. And also, when you use our link, chatsports.com/Daniels, I'll put that link in the comments and description of today's show, and you make a purchase, Fanatics is going to send us part of the proceeds here so we can make more free content for you guys right here on the Commanders Report. So if you're planning on getting a Jaden Daniels jersey regardless and you want to help out the channel, go to chatsports.com/Daniels and pick up your jersey today. Got one from Jasmine Gray. What's up, Jasmine? It says, I have a question for you. What is our top 10 defense? What is our... Is she asking, is the defensive line top 10? Well, Jasmine, I think it depends on how effective the linebackers are going to be. Jamin Davis, Frankie Louvu, and Bobby Wagner, all three of those guys are some of the best blitzing linebackers in football. So what does that tell me? That tells me that Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr., they're going to blitz the hell out of opposing offenses. And, they get a guy like Cleveland Ferrell, who's not much of a pass rusher. He's more of a run defender. That tells me that they're going to really rely on these linebackers to rush the passer along with Dorrance Armstrong. And then, of course, you've got the great guys on the interior in Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen that can certainly get after quarterbacks as well. So I think that in terms of a top 10 pass rush, I actually think the Commanders will have a top 10 pass rush this year. Not sure if they'll get into the top 5 range, but I think that, with all the multiple fronts, with all the creative things that Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. are bringing to the table here, along with the talent that they have brought in and have retained on this defensive line, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen this year. It's going to be blitz heavy. It's going to be simulated pressures. It's going to be creative, and I am here for it, all right? I am absolutely here for it. Then we go on from Mike Baum, says, which player has impressed you the most at Commanders practices so far? Jaden Daniels has been the one that has impressed me the most overall, just because he's a rookie, and the fact that he's a quarterback and he's already playing as well as he is, super impressive. But I would say the surprise person that has impressed me the most is Emanuel Forbes. Now, maybe he shouldn't be surprising me because he's a former first-round pick, but he played so bad last year and he's still so skinny that I was worried heading into training camp. But at practices, man, he's holding his own. He's looking like a number 1 corner to me. And I'm extremely, extremely excited to see what he's going to look like this year in burgundy and gold. So when it comes to Jaden Daniels, let me know down there in the comment section, who's going to start week 1? I mean, I think it's definitely going to be Jaden, especially the way he's playing. But I know Marcus Mariota has the supporters out there, so I want to see the ratio out there. Jaden Daniels, type JD or MM for Marcus Mariota. Let me know what you guys are thinking down there in the comments. Then we got on from Alex Moran, says, what should we expect? When should we expect this team to contend? So by contend, I'm guessing Alex means for a Super Bowl. I think as early as not this season, but next season. So the 2025 season is when I think this team could really get going. Because what I think GM Adam Peters is doing right now is, if you guys didn't know, the Commanders have a ton of available cap space for this year. So a lot of people are like, why don't we spend some of that money? Well, I think it's because Adam Peters is going to roll over a lot of that cap space into next season so that they can spend another fortune on free agents while Jaden Daniels and Dan Quinn head into their second years. And I think that's the year where Jaden becomes a legit MVP candidate. I think that's when Dan Quinn's culture is officially set in stone. And if you can have $100 million at your disposal in free agency again next year to replenish this roster with more talent, I think that's going to be really, really good for this team next year. So I think that's what they're going to do. And I think by 2025, this team is going to be ready to rock. Then we go on from Troy Apple, who says, where would you rank Dan Quinn among NFL head coaches right now? I love Danny, man. I love DQ. I thought he was a really good hire. If you're going to get a defensive guy, I wanted a culture builder type guy, and that's Dan Quinn for sure, dude. You can see the energy on the field. You can see the energy in the building. You can tell there's a lot of buy-in right now, and you can tell he's got the right mentality. So he has to prove it. Obviously, he's a guy that's been formally fired in this league, right? He lost to what was it, Koopa? 28-3 Super Bowl there against Tom Brady. That's an all-time choke job, but I'd probably rank him somewhere around league average, around 15 or so, and by the end of the season, he could easily be in the top 10, if not the top 5, if he can get this team to overperform. So what say you guys? Let me know down there in the comment section. Where does Dan Quinn rank among NFL head coaches? I'll put him at about 15 right now just because, there's a lot of unknowns surrounding the Commanders. He's a first-year head coach here, but I think he could rise up those ranks really quickly. Let me know what you guys think about DQ down there in the comments. That'll be it for this week's mailbag. Thank you to everybody that submitted questions on this Commanders Report live show. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And join us 5 p.m. Eastern Time every single week on Thursdays to catch our Commanders Report live shows. All right, man. So that's our final segment of the day. I think we're gonna say goodbye here, but it's been a good show, man. Training camp's in full force here. Jaden is playing really well.
Season's close, man.
I feel like our first watch party for preseason this year. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. They're gonna be playing multiple. I think Jaden's gonna play quite a bit in those preseason games, and I actually don't think Dan Quinn announces Daniels as the starter until after the first preseason game.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think they want to see him on an NFL field, even if it's preseason.
Do you think he plays in all 3 preseason games?
Oh, no way. Just got a Venmo alert.
No way!
Just got a Venmo alert here. I'll send it to you, Coop.
Do you think Daniels plays in all 3 preseason games?
I do. If he doesn't.
What?
Yeah, I know, man.
What?
Don't go anywhere here, folks. We've got a Venmo alert, and that's an interesting one. I'm not gonna lie. This is a first time Venmoer. Eugene, don't go anywhere, my friend.
Don't go anywhere, Eugene.
Don't go anywhere, man. This is unbelievable.
Now hang on. I gotta make sure that we have everything in order.
Do we even have the Venmo graphics in here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Don't worry about that.
So make sure you guys are subscribed. If you haven't clicked that subscribe, we got GV Blover in here. Says, are they playing the long game on Ayuk and structuring salary cap to sign him in free agency next year? I don't know, man. I think that the 49ers would probably want to tag and trade him next offseason because they can tag him.
Yeah, they could tag him.
And I think what they want is they want to tag him. They want to trade him so they get something for him, and then they have Ricky Pearsall take his spot. So I guess we'll see what happens. But oh my goodness, this one's rolling in from Sean Bain!
Let's go!
Sean! Let's go! Spam those Seans in the chat!
Let's go, baby!
Show Sean some love! A $150 Cash App!
Can you believe it?
And by the way, shout out to Sean. You are the newest member of Commander's Report Hog Mafia,
Let's
my
go.
friends.
Did he have a message?
Let me see. I don't think so.
No message.
I don't see a message. I will check. No message.
All right.
From Sean
Shout
Wheeler,
out,
1963 and 69. So, Sean, if you're in the chat, big shout out to Sean, man. Spam those Seans.
Let's
I
go.
see Jasmine in there. I see Eugene. I see Cassie. I see GV Blover. I see Richard. We got Steven in the chat. Let's go. Sean Wheeler with a $150 Cash App. Unbelievable, man. To get us to 170 on the day. That's a great way to end the show, is it not?
That's fantastic.
That's a great way to end the show, man. I think that's the biggest Venmo or Super Chat that we have gotten since the season.
Absolutely it is.
Since the season was concluded. So that's a great... Oh, so IQ Barbecue says Sean is IQ
Shout out
Barbecue.
IQ, baby.
Shout out to IQ Barbecue. Let's go, man. 150 buckaroos. Good stuff by IQ. IQ was already a Hog Mafia member.
Legend.
But that's why he's in Hog Mafia, Coop, because he's a legend, man.
He's dropping it like that.
Let's go. IQ, you know I love you, man. Fantastic stuff.
We appreciate you, man.
He says, sorry, I didn't put it
All
up.
good.
It's all good, man. You don't have to send a message. It's all good, my friend. Okay, we're going to wrap it up for the day here, folks. Appreciate all of your guys' support.
Thank y'all.
We'll catch you guys later. Until next time, hail to the Commanders.